Right there, so we're back. Now then, let me just get one thing straight. Yes, I've done a couple of tutorial videos on basics. No, I don't think I'm the greatest skateboarder in the world. However, I appreciate there's a bunch of guys out there that are similar to me, middle-aged. Now I'm in my 50s, so some younger, some maybe a little older, getting back on the board or getting on the board for the first time, and I just want to encourage all of that because I think it's all great. And to say, look, we don't have to be amazing, but there's ways to progress and ways to progress safely. And we all, I think, to a man, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, want to learn to ollie or be a little consistent in our ollies. I'm not the greatest ollier in the world anymore. However, I've always had quite a decent pop. Now I've got quite a decent pop belly, which isn't helping me. But I'm trying anyway, and I'm trying to share the things that I do to help me progress and you know, face the fear, feel confident, and time my ollies. And that's what it's about for me. Timing. Not power, not jumping to the moon, but timing and using the energy of the board. Just popping off your foot. So this video is all about ollies, ollie drills, ollie practice, ollie progression. Obviously I don't expect you to go from sitting down learning the timing to popping onto ledges in 10 minutes. But you know, there are little steps to practice through the weeks and months ahead in the park. Don't be disgruntled. Sometimes it will feel good, sometimes it won't, but spend the time there, spend the time practicing, and spend the time sitting at home just practicing that timing. So I start off sitting down. If you'd have watched the last video, you see at the end I start to talk about moving on to ollies. This one's all about ollies. So speaking of which, if you haven't watched the previous videos, go back and watch them, please. It's up to you, of course, but you know, if you want to, it'll help with some foundation. Secondly, everybody that's subscribed, thank you very much. I don't want to be a sycophant, but appreciate it. And those that haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do it. When you do it, hit that notification bell, and then you'll be able to see my boring face more and more. However, just want to build the community, share the joy, share the stoke, and pat each other on the back for whatever progression, or basically just getting on your board and having fun. You know, that's what it's all about. Fitness, mental fitness, health, all that good stuff, and community. So guys, until later or next time or whatever, enjoy this. Cheers. Right then, here we go. So everybody wants to ollie, right? So starting off where we left off, sitting down and just practicing timing. Get that timing in that back foot, pop that board. You're not going to fall over when you're sitting down, I hope, unless you've done something really wrong. Just feeling the timing of popping that foot down and getting the energy from the board to lift up. Don't stamp your foot down on the floor and hold it. It's all a pop, pop, pop. It's a quick, like a trigger. Pop, and then you lift your feet up. Pop, and in the air. The board will come up. Feel how it rises. Push a little bit backwards with your back foot, and it brings the board harder into contact with your front foot. Easier to hook your foot onto the nose and level the board up. We're just getting that timing on the pop though, with the foot position. My ollie's a little bit duck foot possibly. Whatever's coming. So you push back a little bit, pop, there we go, and catch it on the front foot. So pop backwards a little bit, and the energy will bring the board up underneath you. When you're ready, and you finish doing those, or you can do them all the time of course, every time you sit down, practicing, step on the board, try and stay balanced. So, trying to stay in frame here. Push myself back a little bit, and then not too much energy, just a little pop. We don't have to try and do huge ollies. Putting too much energy into your ollie when you're learning, it's a cause for problems. And then just get used to how your feet are going to travel up in the air, trying to keep in control of your arms. Not the most graceful looking bloke, but anyway, we're trying. This is just the way I practice and learn to ollie, essentially. It's just keep working on the timing. That's all I can say it is, really. Once that timing works out, you're happy. So you've gone from sitting down, you started doing them standing up and static, and of course the next thing is moving. So you need to find yourself a target to aim at. That's the best thing I can say, is find something to ollie over And of course the thing that's presenting itself most is this shadow. It gives me something to go over, a depth, like a gap almost. Target helps you focus and learn. It's all very good and well just trying to ollie flat things, but actually focusing on something is beneficial. So then you actually have to put a physical object in the way, and we've got cones, often find them around the park, perfect things to learn on. Other people put a stick down, whatever, boards to go over. We used to ollie over skateboards all the time, but traffic cones seem to be the key these days. Don't have to go too fast, get a speed that you're comfortable with. Nothing bad is going to happen, and just stay relaxed. Remember to bend your knees when you land, otherwise the energy can pop you off the board, and we don't want that. So looking at it, bending, pop. Not fast, not high, just enough to get over. One more. Give yourself time to prepare for it. A bit snatchy. Anyway, so after that I think hopping onto ledges or up something. And for me, I find it easier to ollie onto a ledge at a 90 degree. You haven't got to worry about rolling on or, you know, slipping out particularly. You're ollieing onto something and essentially you're going to end up fairly static. It's an easy way to do it, and it gets you used to landing on a different level and absorbing the energy in your knees. So for me it's good practice. If you're not sure about how high to ollie, you can always start from the side. It's a good way to learn to ollie and move the board forward. Keeping it in contact with your feet. That way if you're doing rocket ollies or it's not contacting your back foot when you're lifting it, you'll know. The back of the board won't come. Just like there, it didn't come all the way on. So bending down, pop on. So I overcompensated then. Made the back truck come on and kept it on my foot. Ended up in a feeble position. Feeble I said, not fetal. So for me I find it a little easier doing these rolling. Coming on. And then what I'm trying to do is increase the speed a little bit and increase the distance away from the ledge that I'm starting to ollie. Just so I'm getting nice and comfortable with that pop. Trying to go 180 to tail, why not? So there we are, the board didn't stay in contact with my foot. When we're learning things and we're doing it over and over and over again, it can get a little bit boring, so variety can help you. Keep you interested. We're not machines. So each time you pop it up to it, look at the obstacle, think about how it feels. I'm just trying something different again. That felt good. I'm not suggesting, you know, that you can go from sitting down and starting out to popping onto ledges straight away. These are all little steps to try as you progress with your ollies to help you understand distance and pop and focus on target and obstacle and different heights. And then again, here we are, I'm on a ledge. I'm thinking about how high do I feel to jump on there, and how's it going to feel to come off? How's it going to feel to jump on and land? Keep the knees soft, and then to turn off again. So I always try and break things down into stages and then put it together. Now I'm going to look at how hard I've got to pop to get on. Whoop, a bit wobbly. Still just figuring out how's that weight going to feel when it lands up there. Got used to it pretty quickly. Lifting the legs up. It helps a lot to understand this is how I'm going to get onto the obstacle. So now I'm jumping on and off the board to understand how my weight's going to feel when I land on the board and how to hold balance on there. Just breaking it down, breaking it down. Now obviously I'm aware that guy's just come past and he's possibly looking at me, and like all of us, I'm sort of feeling his eyes, but I'm feeling also that the timing's not too bad. I think I've got it, so I'm going to go for one rolling. I understand the obstacle, I understand what I'm looking at, so I've just got to commit to doing it. Haven't got to go rocket speed, everything comfortable. Yeah, nice and smooth, happy with that. So there we go. No real cheeseless moments today, thankfully. I wasn't skating too hard, wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. But well, not feeling carving too much. I certainly felt like doing some Ollie practice, and I think that's a lot to do with what people have been talking about on the Ungraceful Movement Discord. It's very nice to be part of that community. Yeah, and a lot of people have been talking about Ollie, so I thought I'd continue from the previous video about where we got to doing Ollies at the end, little tutorials, to Ollie progression and Ollie drill. So in a minute I'm going to do my favourite drill, but I've come to the park. It's 21 degrees and 50% humidity. It's not too bad here, but I've not got enough water, so I am parched. My mouth feels like I've been licking plasterboard. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed what you saw there, and it helps you think about you know, progression, etc. And doesn't matter how slow you think you're progressing, it doesn't matter. Just get out and ride. Each time you'll feel a little bit better for it, and you should be patting yourself on the back just for getting on your board. You know, the more pressure we put on ourselves, the worse it feels. So don't fall into that trap. But today I went from reiterating how I think timing works and how to practice timing from sitting down position, which really helps, I think, just get that little pop and feeling leaving your feet, to little Ollies. So don't put too much effort. Try and keep your arms down. Well, I'm trying to keep my arms down. It's like this, it does my head in. So I'm trying to practice to control my arms a bit more in my Ollies. And I find it actually doing that helps me get the board more stable and keep my shoulders straight. So then, looking for a target to Ollie over. Today I was using the shadow of a lamp. You can use a crack, a light, chalk, whatever, and then over something. So on the cones, it's no different. It's in your head. Don't be worried about it. And then Ollieing onto something. So a tiny little ledge, 90s onto that, and then onto this ledge. So you just basically, if you can jump onto it, you should be able to Ollie onto it, land softly, and then turn the shoulders to get off. And then I'm very happy that I managed to do my a first try Ollie 50-50 on the ledge. So I'm just going to do my last favourite Ollie drill, which is basically every crack in the park between the slabs of concrete here. I'm going to try and set up an Ollie every one of them, and I will leave the video on that. So hope you enjoyed it, hope it's helpful. Leave a comment and pat yourself on the back every time you get on your board. Until next time.